Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US tech stocks, and we're looking at the NASDAQ here on the weekly chart. And you can imagine that coming through an old significant high as this here, and also coming into Christmas too, when the volume is going to be lower, you can imagine that we're going to see some type of consolidation and correction around this top here. I mean, the normal process is that we would come up to the level here, we could push a little bit higher, we could fall a bit shorter, we could do all those sorts of things. We could do something like this here, but there'll be some type of correction around here because the market, needs to eventually find support on top of this level here before moving higher. It needs to step up there. So there's a couple of variations that it can do, but at some point we need to expect some type of correction around this level here. So this particular wave count, even though it may or may not be correct, but certainly the right thing about it is that double tops are never the end of the trend, right? So the trend itself is still a bullish trend to the upside. It's just that we need to navigate through the top here, and it can be a little bit tricky. And as I mentioned, the lighter volume over that Christmas period. So yeah, anyway, just food for thought. So there's a couple of different ways we can count this to the upside. We could count this here as a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and finishing in here earlier and bring this down here. We could also count quite nicely as wave 1 here and 2 here and pushing up as 3, 4, 5 here, pushing up high. So there's a couple of ways to do that. We'll just see how the volume comes in over the over this week. Okay, so just on the daily chart with this. So it kind of gives you a bit of an idea about stocks and so on, So we can put wave 1 in here, that fits quite nicely, and then we could put wave 3 here as we had last week in here, wave 4 coming up, and this here just counting 5 waves in this little move here and having a top in this point, and then softening into Christmas. But with this little extra high just in here, it's quite possible to look at all of this as wave 1 and take this higher here. So this week we'll just need to consider a move higher as well. So they're the two things that we're looking at the moment with this. So just maybe I've updated on the 20k tick. Let me just have a little look here. Okay, so this is this is looking at it with wave 1 to this point and 2 to here. So this here would be looking at it at it moving higher. So 1 and 2 here, nice 5-wave structure here, and going up for wave 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 here. Probably need another little move down here for wave 2, and then 3, 4, 5 to move to the upside. So buying new highs would be the right thing to do and moving forward in this index here. Okay, so let's have a look at stock. So we're looking at Apple here, and we've been counting up as wave 3, 4, and 5 here, and that makes a lot of sense. And the thing here is that whatever the wave count is, we're not going to be going too far from this number here. So we can look at I just think it's going to be a little bit sticky here, that's it. So this particular move here, we can look at it like this. We can also look at it moving further up, and I think that this would be like putting it in a little bit in line with the NASDAQ, and we can have a close look in a moment, but wave 4 here going up for wave 5, and then 4 and then 5 to the upside here. going up higher, because I would like to see a move above the level here, you know. But just coming into the intraday area here. So looking at it as wave 3, 4, and going up for wave 5 here. So we're not going to put a lot of emphasis on this wave 1 here. We're going to drag that out the way here, because what will probably happen here is we'll get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we'll push up. Okay, so you could probably buy new highs here, but going long into a large number, it's okay, but it's only really for intraday players, not sort of swing traders and so on. But yeah, we'll probably, you know, the normal thing is this, you know, this would be the normal process across this level here. And the reason for that is because you can see here already, it's telling you that this level is important, this number's important, there's sellers there, there's supply there, so, and it's being sold off from that point. So the value buyers will come in and pick it up and take it higher, but there's only so many of them, and then they'll run out of strength, and then it'll be back again. So it's going to be something like this here. So yeah, I don't recommend trading around large numbers unless it's really at the end of a correction and we're looking for support on this level, but we're really sort of arriving into this level, so it's not the place to go long. Okay. And with Amazon here, now I wouldn't pay too much attention to my wave counts here coming into this large number as well, like the 150 here. We understood that, you know, this trend coming up here was strong at the beginning, and, you know, it started to roll over, and we could see the sort of glass ceiling at 150 there. And we understood that the pattern was corrective, so we would make new highs, and we're doing that at the moment. But this is where it can get a little bit sort of messy in here. You know, it could be quite messy in here. Certainly no trading in here. I mean, yes, I do, you know, we're getting impulse waves to the upside, so, but it could do something weird, you know. It could be putting wave 5 in here. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, just ending in that particular space here, do you know, like that kind of thing, ending here. So yeah, I'll just be very careful about what goes on here. I mean, it's kind of made new highs here, so it's okay, but yeah, it can get a bit rough in here. Let's just go to the 100 ticks. I don't think it's going to give us much more information at this point. 1, 2, 3, ABC for 4, 5. It looks like we can get probably something like this here. You know, so something like this. But I just don't recommend it in trading it as such at this point. And Nvidia. So with Nvidia, we've been looking at a little bit different. There's a few of them like this here, where we've got wave 1 here with an A wave here, B wave here, and then coming down for a C wave here. Will it make a new high above here? Even if it did make a new high above here, I'd still just have to bring this wave 1 across here. But the fact that it's pulled down to the 50%, it's kind of the best fit for this. I can see this is corrective here, so we could see this pushing a little bit higher. Let's just go to the 100 tick and look at it here. So well, what I can say is that this move here is impulsive. This one here is, well, it's not really signed off as corrective yet, but it's sort of getting there. We could probably, I'm just going to give this a little bit of gravity here, but probably the lowest it will come is around the 485 here, which just happens to be, that's the midpoint between 80 and 90, so it always carries a lot of weight, and we can see that it's got support over here, so it can drift down here a little bit further as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, so just be a bit mindful of that. Yeah, so it should have one more sort of approach to this here. It may not come down that far either, but you know, it's just not what, you know, you could go long above the tops here, that that could be okay, an exit here, you know, for just sort of I don't know, sort of scalping, day trading. Yeah, so that's where that is at the moment. So nothing really to be had there. And Meta Platforms is the same as well. It's possible to look at wave 2, you know, bring this wave 2 over to here because it's pulled down deeply enough. You know, it's a bit tough to get a wave 4 out of this because it's quite different from this trend that's come through here. You know, this trend has left the building, so to speak. So it's completely different. You know, it's different than this move. It's not part of this move here. Yes, it's connected, but it's not part of that actual structure. So we'll just see how this sort of plays out. I mean, the other point here too is that it's not going to go far past this old high here anyway. If it's, you know, I can see that it needs to to push up, but you know, it's not going to go that far. I mean, there'll be a little bit of momentum from the Friday following through, but at the same time, we got Christmas coming in this week, so you know, a lot of the big players will be heading out to the Hamptons or wherever they go, you know. So it'll be something like this here. You know, it's not, you know, I wouldn't, like I say, I wouldn't pay too much attention to my wave count, but what I can tell you for sure is that we're not going far, you know. So don't think that even if it goes up, don't think you're missing, you know, you're missing much, because it's not going to go far. It'll just go into the supply of the old highs here and then roll over at that point. So we've had this ABC here for a long time, and we'll stay with it. I mean, it looks positive because it's sitting on top of group 1 here of 30, so of 300, so 10, 20, and 30 is the top of minor group 1, and that's really significant finding support here. It doesn't look like this is a little bit sort of dodgy here, but 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, it looks like it's in a 3-wave correction here. So probably an A and a B and a C, and it could drop a bit further and push up. But and of course you could go long above the top, you know, for short-term traders, and it'll take you up there. But you know, I would be quick to take any money into new highs. And Netflix here, so from the low here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just made a bit of a new high here. The only other thing that I could see here is putting a little wave 1 here and a wave 2 into here somewhere, and push up into here as 3, 4, 5. But I just don't see the general market taking that up there like that. I know that it would like to get into, you know, the 500. I understand that, and it's got itself a nice bit of support here within group 2 here, 65, 72, and 80 into group 2 here. So we'll just see. It's testing that group 2 now. The markets will generally sort of push a bit higher here, but you know, we'll see if they come down and lock it. If it locks under the 65 here, you could trade from 65 down to 50 and get out. But you'll need the, you know, you'd need the setup at that point. So you need the first low below the level to short that. And it does look like it's impulsive here. So this is highly likely to be corrective and then another move down. So we could get this ABC pattern here. But I can't see the general market taking it that much, taking it higher. Do you know? I mean, it's just where everything is at the moment. You know, it's they're all running into supply, and they'll all be starting to have low volume this week and those sorts of things. So, so just be a little bit careful. Alphabet here. So with Alphabet here, we were looking for 5 waves down. Well, we've kind of got it. It looks like a nice wave 4 in here at minimum, you know. So we should see some sort of little ABC bounce into this space before seeing 3, 4, and 5 down here. Becoming a bit low here, but we'll just stay with that for the time being. We've stayed with it since, you know, since we started counting an impulse wave to the upside. I mean, I can see that, you know, I can see that we could view this here as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave in here for wave 2. And, you know, I can see that we could count this as 5 waves up here. And we could probably, you know, this is not the best in here. It's a little bit tricky to count. So we could count it as, you know, wave 2 here and wave 1 and 2 here. But the problem with that, it's not in line with the rest of the market, how the rest of the world's going to be moving. So I can't do that just yet. So once we've got this top in here, we could go long above that. But then again, we're just going into the Christmas space as well. So, you know, Santa's dropped off all his presents and he's out of here. So that's that. So Google and Microsoft kind of travel together a little bit. So it does look a little bit impulsive here. And I could look at this as an A and a B. And also I put the C wave over here for that. It hasn't dropped down below here. So don't want to go there just yet. But it looks a little bit impulsive here, so that means we should see some sort of leg to the upside here before seeing further downside. Yeah, so that's that. I mean, if I got a classic trading levels pattern on top of the 180, then I would look at, you know, calling in a long trade at that point, but not while we're in here. We haven't made a new low below here, and, you know, because this move here dropped below this here, it forces this to be corrective in 3 waves. It actually confirms it being 3 waves. And if it's in 3 waves here, then it's highly likely that it should take the low out here, and it hasn't done that. So yeah, all the boxes, you know, if you're going to take a trade, you need a certain amount of boxes ticked, you know, to make up your edge. You know, I know what my edge is, and you know, it's, you know, I need to be I need to trade with the trend. I need a correction. We've got a correction, but I'm just not thinking that it's over. And then even if it is over, I'll still need a nice impulse wave here to do that. So we're just not there yet for that. And then we come over to Tesla. Now, we had the stop out of the way here and those sort of things, but I was looking on the Trading View site here, and I can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third and fourth. So I'm thinking we've got the 5th wave up here, you know. So I'm thinking that we're going to come up for the 5th wave, and it'll be like 1 and 2 here. We need to just chop that up a bit, minute, minor, meeny, miny, mo, yeah, that kind of thing. So I think it will be something like this. So we don't want to go through this wave 2 here with this. That's the risk at this point. So we can stay in the position here for a bit. I'm going to bring the stop way up to here, because that, if this is going to go up, it shouldn't take that low out here, unless it's going to be 1, 2, sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth, and fifth just to here, and then, you know, so we're just basically getting it closer to break even. And if it pushes up here higher, right, because it will want to come back and check these tops here, it needs to take this top out, because this will be the 3rd wave at that point, you know. So this will be something like this here. So yeah, it will probably, well, even just to get a bit closer on that to make it easier for you, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and there'll be 5 here, and then it's going to come back and check the tops, and then it's going to move off again. So once it goes through to here, right, then I want you to bring your stop up to that point to break even. I don't want to put it there now, because it's not the next logical step. So that would be that. I'm going to remove that just there. So yeah, you need to have a trailing stop at this point, and get this to break even, and it won't give you a bottle of whiskey, but it'll give you a nice beer. Okay, so that's it at the moment. But this is actually quite bullish, this one here. I kind of like this. This will be one that will pick up here, because if this plays out like this here, then this will give us a 3rd wave up here. We can catch this one. I thought we'd be getting it now, but looking at the other one, it just doesn't sort of doesn't get us there. But we'll check this out tomorrow, and what we might do, if this is correct over here for this one as 1 and 2 here, then I'll just see how this moves. I mean, if this is going to be a 3rd wave up, it should be moving quite strong, but I don't see the rest of the market doing that. Do you know what I mean? It's just we should be making a new high and then pulling back. That's what Google and Microsoft and Netflix and Facebook or whatever it is, you know, are all doing, you know. So we'll just stay with, you know, we'll stay with that for for the time being. So yeah, look, today's not a lot to report, and we'll just keep an eye on things. And as I said last week, we're going to be Wednesday will be our last day. We're not going to do Thursday and Friday, because I remember last year it was just pointless taking up time when I could be out enjoying myself. So so we're going to close up on the Wednesday and come back on the 8th of January. But that said, if there's anything that needs to be updated, be it Bitcoin or stocks or indices, then I will put a video out for that. Alrighty, cheers.